Survivors of a rebel attack on a school in western Uganda say the teenage pupils were killed with machetes before a bomb was thrown into a dormitory. School buildings were also set ablaze. Around 40 boys and girls died and several students were abducted. Police say militants linked to the Islamic State group carried out the attack. It happened at a secondary school in Apomdwe in the west of the country, and 8 other people were injured and are in hospital. Dozens are feared to have been abducted. Police say the army is pursuing the fighters who had crossed the border from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
An airstrike in southern Khartoum has killed at least 17 people, including 5 children, health officials said on Saturday. For weeks, there have been intense clashes between 2 rival generals in the Yormuk area of the city, where there's a military facility that's controlled by the army. It was one of the deadliest attacks between the army and the powerful paramilitary group known as the Rapid Support Forces. However, it's not clear whether the attack was by a warplane, which only the army have, or by a drone.
The African leaders' peace delegation on Saturday met Russian President Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg with calls to end escalation in Ukraine topping the agenda of the meeting. The South African President Cyril Ramaphosa told his Russian counterpart that the conflict in Ukraine must be settled through negotiations and through diplomatic means. On the other hand, President Putin poured cold water on their plan that was already dismissed by Zelensky on Friday, terming their proposal as misguided. The African leaders were seeking agreement on a series of confidence-building measures, even as Kyiv last week began a counteroffensive to push back Russian forces.
A ferry carrying 120 passengers and crew members has caught fire at sea in the Philippines, and a Coast Guard vessel has been deployed to rescue those on board and extinguish the flames. The MV Esperanza Star caught fire at dawn while travelling from Siquijor province to Bohol province in the central Philippines, the Coast Guard said. It did not immediately say how many people had been rescued from the ferry or if there were casualties. Photos and videos released by the Coast Guard show flames and black smoke billowing from 2 decks at one end of the ferry as Coast Guard personnel on board another vessel used a water cannon to try to put out the fire.
King Charles on horseback to mark yet another historic day, the first trooping the colour of his reign just over a month after being crowned king. Thousands turned out to witness the moment, lining the Mall as the Commonwealth's new monarch joined the procession, flanked by Princess Anne, Prince Edward and Prince William, also on horseback, with Queen Camilla, Kate and her children following closely behind in a carriage. At the Horse Guards parade, His Majesty inspected the line of guards, a tradition dating back more than 260 years. The colour or regimental flag trooped in front of hundreds of guardsmen and officers.